Hi guys, this is Tracy with Inside Pool Magazine. Well, I'm back. I've been on a slight bit of a vacation. I've been working with the Junior Billiard Scholarship Fund, trying to get our tournaments up and running. So far, we have filled every seat on the Monica Webb Battle of the Junior Champions, and I couldn't be more happy and looking forward to March. We've got some amazing kids, and coming up next is one of our kids that got an alternate spot on the Monica Webb Battle of the Junior Champions. If for some reason one of the children cannot play because of illness or something that comes up, we have 3 children that would be filling those positions on the ones who cannot play. There will also be rules and regulations, so you guys bear with us. We are fairly new at doing this, but we are extremely excited. Our next guest coming up is Tanner Floore. I met Tanner over in Actually, he came to Alabama. He played in one of the events at Bumpers in Hoover, and he played phenomenal. This young man was brought to my attention from a friend of mine named Shane Norwood. He had reached out to me and told me about this amazing youngster coming out of the state of Mississippi. When I tell you guys these kids play strong in the South, I'm not joking. Tanner Floore is an up-and-coming superstar. He is gaining momentum with every tournament that he plays in. I'm going to run his promo video, and then I'm going to let you guys meet Mr. Tanner Floore. And trust me, this kid is spunky, and he's intelligent, and he knows where he's going in this pool industry. Ladies and gentlemen, up next, Tanner Floore. Hi, Tanner. Hi, Jason. Hi, Mindy. How are you guys this evening?
Good.
Well, would Tanner raise his hand, please? I just want the pool fans to know which one's Tanner. So, Tanner, what was it like to play at the Rumble at the Rec this couple weeks ago?
It was fun. I fought through all the competitors, and even though I didn't come in first, I still had a good time.
Well, there was an interesting background story on that. But first, could you tell me your full name, your age, and where you're from?
My full name is Tanner J. Floore. I'm 14 years old, and I'm from Mississippi.
Thank you so much. The background story is, the winner of Rumble at the Rec. Could you give us a little bit of background on that little tidbit of information?
For the winner?
Yes, sir.
So the winner was JB Garage, and he shoots with me a good bit at Michael's 43.
Is that your home run, Tanner, right now?
Yes, ma'am. Michael's 43.
Could you give me a little bit of insight on what it's like when you walk into that venue?
Well, we're like a family up there, so everybody is together the whole time. And the tournaments that we have up there are very fun because we have a good time with them.
Well, I can't wait to come out that way. Next time I'm in the area, I'll have to stop by and check it out. Your dad never fails to send me into a great venue. You guys have been a great ally to have in the pool industry. You always know where to send me when I need to check out a new venue, so I appreciate it. Well, let's get down to it, Tanner. How long have you been playing pool, sir? The fans are eager to know.
I've been playing for about a year and a half. December would be 2 years.
And what is your APA rating right now?
I don't have one.
You don't have one. Ladies and gentlemen, he does not have a Fargo rating either, but he came all the way through on the winner's side at the Rec. He has done this numerous times. It is a matter of time for this child knocks off one of these tournaments, and trust me, he is coming for a win. Tanner, how many hours do you put into playing pool, sir?
I play three nights a week probably. So I probably put in like 5 hours a day, probably 6 hours a day on the nights.
Awesome. Mom and Dad, what are his grades like in school right now?
He is actually a straight A student.
It does not surprise me. He seems like he would be. Jason, have you noticed a change in Tanner since you first got him on the table?
Oh, when he first got on the table, he couldn't even hold a pool stick. And the people at Michael's have really helped him out with that. And now he is the beast that he is on the pool table. So, yeah, I've seen leaps and bounds. He doesn't see it, but everybody else around him sees it.
Personally, from the moment that I met him over in Hoover until now, his progression has been not steady, but quick. He learns so quickly. I don't know if it's his age, but it seems like those junior players coming out of the state of Mississippi are monsters, sir. Especially as young as they are and as hungry as they are for a win. Your son has been such a pleasure getting to know, and such a respectable young man. It was inspiring to watch him play at the Rec a couple weekends ago, especially playing someone who has been watching him grow over the past 2 years. He had quite favorable things to say about your son, and it was an honor to hear them, because I see what John was saying. I saw that firsthand, and it's been amazing watching Tanner just blossom on the pool table like he has. Have you had any issues with the growth spurts in the industry? Like, how is he handling the pressures when he gets down there towards the end? And then we'll have Tanner answer that. From your perception, do you think he's growing as he's maturing in the sport, Jason?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you still have that young youth about it, that, you know, the beginner's still in there somewhere, you know, and he does get down on himself a little bit whenever he starts, you know.
Don't we all?
Right. He gets down on himself, but, you know, he's gotten better with that probably, I would say, in the last 3 months. He'll just take a quick walk away from the table and come back and clock back in and get back on it. So, I mean, he's made me very proud, and the people in our Michael's 43 family proud.
How do you feel like you're doing, Tanner, since you first started? I mean, your dad is absolutely right. I've seen you flourish. You have grown in the past. I met you 4 months ago. Was it been 4 months, Jason? Maybe longer.
Yeah, I think you actually met us. You actually met us at Big Time Billiards, but we just kind of crossed paths.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a lot going on when we were at Big Time. There's like 120 people in the building.
I'm going to give him his props real quick. He came in 4th in that tournament.
Yes,
put
he
out
did.
Roland Garcia.
Yes, he did. I got numerous phone calls from Joey Henderson, and a couple of other people like, did you see this kid? Were you not paying attention to this kid? I'm like, I saw, you know, it's amazing how well our youth play pool at such a young age, when a lot of times we really have to work a lot harder at it than they do. It seems like it comes so naturally to you, Tanner. How do you feel you've come along in the past 2 years? Do you feel like you're handling the pressures better? You definitely are showing it.
I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at it, but it's just the final. When I get to the finals, I just got to start working on that more.
Well, your dad's right. I mean, it's tough when you get down there to the very end and you've been playing this whole time. You start second guessing yourself, and we could tell slightly, but that's your age, really, and you'll learn, and you are learning, because you're playing you've done a 180 since I've met you, and you just don't see it, and your game is coming along just perfectly for where you're at, and I look forward to seeing you playing in one of Shane Van Boning's tournaments. You should have been up there for sure. You would have done very, very well. Do you have any tournaments that you are wanting to play in, Tanner, right now? On your bucket list of tournaments?
Not any right now, but, well, I really wanted to go to the Shane Van Boning one, but we couldn't get signed up for it. So
it was tough getting in that. A lot of kids just couldn't make it in. It was tough. I'm sure there will be more. Also, there's something unique about your little neck of the woods. The Floores have actually spearheaded the Junior Billiard Scholarship Fund League in their area. When do you start that, Jason?
We've got to get with Eddie on that to find out. We were wanting to try to start it in October. Just, you know, day-to-day life, work, and everything's kind of, you know, slowed that down. So I'm pushing it back probably to November. We've got a good, strong 7, possibly 10 kids that are going to be in the league. And we're going to start it out and have fun with it.
We start off small and we just get bigger from there. I think Blake's going to do the same thing up in South Haven. So maybe we can get a little competition going between North Mississippi and South Mississippi, a battle of the state. That sounds actually pretty interesting, Tanner. Let's see. I have a couple of other questions for you, kiddo. What is your favorite game? Do you have a favorite game besides 8-ball and 9-ball? I heard through the grapevine that you play one pocket.
I do play a good bit of one pocket. I like playing it. It's fun, and you gotta like think a lot more.
Your maneuvers, I've watched you play your maneuvers. It shows that you're playing one pocket. It's definitely showing. Mindy, how has Tanner's attitude been since he's been charging forth on this billiards career of his?
It's been very good. He's being able to juggle school and pool at the same time. So he's doing really good with it.
Awesome. Do you play any other sports besides billiards, Tanner?
I run track and play baseball.
You run track. Well, that's not a shocker. The way you run around that table when you're playing pool, it does not surprise me. No. And baseball. Awesome. Awesome. What position do you play, sir?
I pitch and play third, short, and second.
Awesome. Jason, does your son have an arm on him?
He's got a pretty good little cannon on him.
You'll have to invite me to one of those games. I'd love to watch.
When the season gets started, we'll send you an invite.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to be out there. Sounds like it would be a good time. Let's see. So 2 years ago, you started playing pool, so you were around 12?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's see. Do you have a professional player that you admire, Tanner?
I like watching Shane Van Bowen play a lot.
He's an amazing player. Absolutely. Absolutely.
He's been fun to watch.
He actually is. Him and Jason Shaw have been at the forefront of my loving pool most of my life. They are some amazing gentlemen, and on and off the table, very good ambassadors for the pool community. What has been your biggest motivator or support system?
Probably my biggest support system is Michael's 43, because they just help me out so much whenever I'm struggling on a shot or something. They'll come help me out with it.
And who has been your biggest support system or motivator?
Probably,
you have a particular person?
Probably Shane Norwood, Jet Crosby, and JB, probably.
Nice. Nice. Well, Little Bird told me that your dad's got a little bit to do with that. Just saying.
Yeah, and my dad.
Jason's like, hey, I'm sitting here. Just playing with you, kiddo. As you guys can tell, I know the Floores fairly well. Most of my junior players that I've gotten to know, I get to know the parents fairly well. And I mean, come on, why would they have a crazy blonde lady around their child if they don't get to know her? Oh, let's see. What has been your biggest lesson in the billiards industry so far, Tanner?
My biggest lesson is probably to, no matter if you're down by like 7-1, just keep fighting, and you'll just keep fighting, and you'll probably come back and win.
Absolutely. And you fought all the way to the end till that last ball fell. And that right there shows not only courage, it shows character. Absolutely. What is, let's see, after high school, do you plan on furthering your education? Or are you planning on making pool your main focus?
I plan on going to college probably.
What are you planning on going to college for, Tanner? Have you decided yet? It's okay if you haven't.
I haven't decided yet.
There's a lot of fantastic things out there. You know, both of my children, my oldest one is a computer engineer, and my youngest one is in at UAH right now and doing the same thing. You know, anything at this point in our young, you know, in our youth's lives is fascinating how fast they learn in all of these new technologies that are coming out. So you got plenty of time to make that decision, kiddo. Plenty of time. Do you currently have a practice regime, Tanner? Do you set balls up? What does it look like when you go into practice?
When I go into practice, I just basically practice on breaking, give it a times, and then running out a lot.
Okay.
I like to practice playing against people a lot, though.
So you're more of a one-on-one. I'm learning what I need to learn as I'm playing.
And watching the other person shoot too.
Okay. Do you watch any pool videos for that at all?
I watch a good amount of the pros play, and I just learn by watching them play what to do really. Any
particular pros that you follow more than others when it comes to you trying to understand how they're playing?
Well, I watch Shane Van Boven shoot a lot, and then probably probably Federer too. I watched it.
Federer's really good, and I believe his girlfriend has a couple of YouTube videos out where she's teaching you drills. If you haven't seen any of that stuff, they're awesome. I would check them out, and I believe Christina has them on YouTube. Very fantastic information. I mean, you're not going to learn anything any better than from one of them. If you could speak to anyone, I'm going to throw this question out there to you. If you could speak to anyone about our juniors in general, about what we need in our community to further your career, who would it be? Is there something that you need versus something that you don't need? Say I had $10,000, somebody just handed it to me and said, hey, give this to Tanner, and Tanner has to spend it. Where would you put it? You can't spend it on yourself, though. You have to put it somewhere where it can be shared. He's like, oh.
I'll probably put it towards like helping everybody in the like junior league, probably.
In the leagues? That sounds good, because then everybody could have a little piece of that, and then we could throw a big tournament. That sounds good. Interesting. Nice. Very nice. If you could fast forward 10 years, where do you see yourself in the pool community?
I'll probably see myself being a very good pool shooter and having a good time with it, probably.
Right. If a young child, say 6, walked up to you and say he won a pool cue at a raffle at one of these tournaments, and he walked up to you because you're his favorite player and said, What advice would you give that 6-year-old with that brand new cue? If he says, could you teach me something about this? What would you say?
I'll probably teach him some stuff on the table with shooting with it and tell him about the cue probably.
Nice. Nice. I like that. You guys did very well, Mr. and Miss Floore. Very nice young man you have there. Tanner, do you feel that the junior players have everything they need, like the support from the media, the tournament directors, the United States? You know, do you feel like we're doing enough for the junior players, or do you think we could do more?
I think that there needs to be more people that look at the juniors, because that's what's basically coming up in the pool world is the junior players.
Right, absolutely right. I fully agree. We need more sponsorship, I think, and I think we need more tournaments throughout the country and in broader spectrums. Dad and Mom, what do you think? Do you think we need more tournaments for the kids in our areas?
Absolutely.
What do you think, Jason?
I think that there's a drastic need for it. You know, I mean, Mississippi, he's able to go into places that sell alcohol and stuff as long as he's accompanied by a parent. But your state in Alabama is not allowed. Louisiana is not allowed. And there's huge tournaments there that these juniors are wanting to go enter in, you know, and it's the lawmakers that aren't allowing it. You've got downtown Billiards and Monroe, they don't allow kids. It's because of the lawmakers that are keeping them from that. You know, they could slap an armband on them, make sure they're accompanied with an adult, and allow them to play in those big tournaments and see the big prize at the end of it.
Right. I agree. The state of Mississippi has been the first state that I've been to since I started this trailblazing thing that I'm doing with the juniors. The state of Mississippi was the only state that it was okay to allow minors into a bar. And for me, growing up in Tennessee, most of my life in North Alabama, that was very unheard of. So, you know, it's very difficult to get the training that these young juniors need in order to progress in the sport. If we don't do anything while they're young, then they lose vital knowledge and learning during their youth where they need it. Those connections while we're young, they get solidified when we're younger. As we grow older, some of those connections don't stay. And I would love to see more of our junior players have the opportunities that the state of Mississippi is giving their juniors around the Southeast. And I know that the same issues are going on in the Northeast. I'm not quite sure in the Midwest and towards the West continental United States. I'm not sure about that, but I am very well aware of what's going on the East Coast. And you're absolutely right. There's not enough tournaments for our children, and we need to make sure that those laws get changed. I know that Downtown Billiards has stepped up, and the owners have leased another building, and they are giving the state of Louisiana what we've been screaming for the past, I don't know, I've been doing this about 6 months now. So they've stepped up to the plate, and I don't know who they talked to, but they pulled one out. So congratulations to the state of Louisiana for finally filling that void. But we need more. We need more tournaments, that's for sure. Tanner, what is your next tournament? Do you have a tournament coming up anytime soon, sir?
There's going to be a big tournament at Michael's 43 that I'm looking forward to.
When is that supposed to be, sir? I didn't hear that.
What's it?
We don't know the date right off the top of my head. It's on Facebook and everything.
Okay.
Shane know where it's putting it on.
All right, I'll have to check that out. I haven't been to Michael's yet. I know that they have a massive tournament going on. It's called the Big Boy Tournament up in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is allowing junior players because I pitched a fit. Said I'm not coming unless you let my kids in. So they fixed it.
What's
so
the date?
If you guys want to go up to Knoxville, Tennessee for that tournament, I will send you that flyer. I'm not quite sure what the cutoff, but he did say the juniors were allowed. And I think Caden Showman is 15 or 16. And I think he's going. I'm not quite sure exactly what the cutoff is. I don't think they're going to let the 10 and 11-year-olds in, but I think Tanner would be fine. But I'll get in touch with Ricky and find out. I mean, he owes me one. Tennessee beat Alabama this weekend. He should be in a good mood.
Absolutely.
It's that game was crazy. I was like, man, you hear me, right?
It was a nail biter.
It was crazy. My entire house was insane. Half of it was crimson and white, and the other half was orange and white. It was crazy. I was like, okay, everybody go home. My house is a mess now. Tanner, what is in your case?
I have a Mushi with a Q-Tech shaft and a Jeffrey Tucker breakstick.
Awesome. Nice. Do you wear a glove, Tanner, when you shoot?
I do.
You do? Do you have a particular brand that you like over the others?
I like using a Q-Tech glove.
Nice. Awesome. Do you have any sponsors currently, Tanner?
I do have a sponsor, Mako Tips. I'm waiting for the package to get out, and then I'll definitely be using their stuff over Q-Tech.
Eddie Altman with Mako Tips, one fantastic human being. Mr. Eddie also is the founder of the Junior Billiard Scholarship Fund. That man is always busy doing something, and we appreciate you guys. We appreciate Mako Tips and Eddie and his wife for everything that he's doing, and for taking a gamble on me and our junior players by giving them their tournaments. So we appreciate you, Eddie, and thank you so much. Tanner, do you have any questions, or would you like to give any shout outs out there? I know you have a Rolodex on your phone, right? You want to pick one that you like? Ladies and gentlemen, I've been making fun of these junior players. I had forgotten how bad my children were when they were 14 about all of these sweet little girls that they have in their phone, and I had caught Tanner texting a girl while we were at South Haven, so he's not going to hear the end of that anytime soon. But I'm going to let Tanner give some shout outs to some of his friends, some of the people that have been helping him out. We appreciate everything that everyone does for our junior players. And Tanner is one amazing young man, and he has a bright future ahead of him. So if there is anyone out there who would like to sponsor Tanner Floore, please reach out to me or Inside Pool Magazine. We'll be more than happy to get his information sent to you, and he would be more than happy to sit down and talk with anyone who would like to sponsor him. Trust me, it's worth the gamble. This kid's going somewhere. Go ahead, Tanner. Give some shout outs, sir.
Shout out to Mako Tips, Michael's 43, Shane Norwood, my parents, and that's probably about it.
That's probably about it. Well, I appreciate Mindy and Jason for giving me the opportunity to get to know their son. It's been an honor and a pleasure getting to know your family. You guys do more for the pool community than most people realize. Mr. Floore was the one that organized the state qualifying tournament over in the state of Mississippi. So on behalf of Mako Tips, Inside Pool Magazine, Billiard Talk Juniors Edition, and myself, Mr. Floore, we thank you so much. Well, this has been Tanner Floore, and this has been Billiard Talk Juniors Edition. I'm going to run Tanner's little snippet here in a minute. Jason, do you have anything you would like to add, sir?
Just keep these kids involved in it. Yeah, they're our future in the pool world.
Absolutely. And this isn't the last you're going to see of Tanner, because I got a couple of things I'm going to have Tanner doing. I usually pick up 1 or 2 kids once a month, and I give them all kinds of chores to see if they can accomplish it. These chores teach our children how to speak in public, and they also teach our children how to organize themselves and take care of their pool necessities. So look out there, Mr. Floore. I'm coming after you, and I'm going to give you a big list of stuff to do. But anyway, thank you so much, Jason, Mindy, and Tanner, and I'll see you at the next tournament. We'll see you later. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Tanner Floore. Like I said, it takes a village to raise a pool player, and it also takes a community to ensure that it doesn't die. Our sport is up and going. Our professional adult players are out there challenging, going after their dreams. Our children just want that same opportunity. Our junior players need more help. So I'm standing here on my little soapbox, and I am doing what I can to help our junior players. I will be reaching out to organizations outside of the pool community soon. I have a couple of ideas in my back pocket. Inside Pool Magazine and Junior Billiard Scholarship Fund have united forces, and we have a couple of ways to raise money. So if you're following me on Facebook, you can follow me at I have 2 actual personal pages. They are Tracy Lerma, and it says Inside Pool Diva somewhere in my name. I also have a professional page. It's called Tracy the Diva Lerma. You can reach me there. Or you can get in touch with Autumn Grusella at Inside Pool Magazine, and she can tell you how to get in touch with me. Like I said, we need help. We need funding. We also need support. If any of you would like to help, please reach out to me. The Floores would appreciate it, and all of our juniors would appreciate it. They're reaching for the stars, and we just need them just to give them a little hands up. You know, all of us need a little help sometimes. I'm going to run Tanner's little snippet, and then we'll call it a night. Until next time, America and overseas. We're not forgetting the people around the world. Thank you so much for following me. On behalf of Inside Pool Magazine, Mako Tips, and the Junior Billiard Scholarship Fund, and the Floores, we appreciate it. Have a good night. This is Diva, signing out. See ya.